Hey guys, so a new interview was conducted by TheGamer, the YouTube channel, with Jun Furitani, and they did a new interview regarding Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, including the interviewer asking a question about Dragon Ball GT, how to unlock characters revealed, some stuff from Budokai Tenkaichi 3 being in Sparking Zero, like ChiChi's commentary, and a lot more. Timestamps will be in the description, and there's a chance that the thumbnail for this video might be a bit insane. However, the reason I'm putting it there because, well, it technically is Dragon Ball GT related. So yeah, let's go over some specific questions and answers. Obviously, I can't play the full audio due to copyright reasons, so I'll pretty much paraphrase and say what he said just from memory and because of the notes I took. And of course, you can watch the full video on their channel just to get more context with everything. Anyway, the first question, one of the first questions that was asked was, what is the process between unlocking characters? To which the producer of the game says, basically you can unlock them through episode battle, basically the story, and a custom battle slash bonus battles. At least from my memory, he did mention that mode. He basically said that those two modes, single player modes, is how you unlock characters. But he did say that you'll also be able to get in-game money slash Zeni, and that there is a shop in which you can purchase the characters themselves. So I don't know if that will be the case for all the characters or just specific characters, but they did say that yes, Zeni will be an option. Actually, let me correct myself. Yes, they do say that instead of being forced to play the story mode, you'll be able to play like certain things within the game, which I assume is like other modes, and that's how you'll be able to attain Zeni and then be able to purchase the characters yourselves. The producer of the game also, the interviewer also asked if Super Shenron will be used to unlock characters as well, and well, yes. I believe they said there's a game mechanic where you get Dragon Balls by doing certain achievements, so they said they did confirm this, and that to get the Dragon Balls, you just have to do certain achievements, I guess missions or certain things, whatever. One other question was, are capsules returning? And the interview, Jun Furitani said something like, items can affect the status of the players. For example, pre-ordering the Ultimate Edition, you already get certain items, but you can unlock them in-game. So, pretty much their guess is going to be like capsules, but their own type of version, which they refer to as items. And they said that they can affect the status of the characters, which I assume is stuff like speed, fighting abilities, power, etc. But of course, you can also unlock them in-game. The other question is, will ChiChi's commentary on characters be in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? And well, they completely dodged the question. They just focused on the battle modes and story modes, and it was basically one of those like, we can't really answer that. Which honestly, I'm just gonna say that either it's not in the game or it's just a thing they don't want to talk about yet. The other question was in regards to balance. Obviously, we've gotten this question a few times, but the interviewer or the YouTuber says, I'm just going to say that from now on. The YouTuber says, I love playing online modes, but how will they balance between playing as a character like, Ultra Instinct Goku or Gogeta versus a character like Yamcha, or will there not be any balance at all? And the typical answer was honestly that certain characters will be naturally stronger than others. A character like Blue Gogeta is obviously going to have certain major advantages over characters like Mr. Satan and Master Roshi, who won't be able to compete anywhere near as much. But that's why they have the cost system, where you can't really put 5 extremely strong characters on your team. So by having the cost system, that's their idea of balancing. So a character like Mr. Satan or Hercule will have a lower cost, so you can put those 5 characters on the team. But I'm assuming you can't put something like Ultra Instinct Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, Fuse Zamasu, and Beerus all on the same team. And I believe this was in referring to the online play, especially. The person doing the interview also asked if there was any inspiration taken from the Dragon Ball Raging Blast series. And well, they actually mentioned a few games. So they said something like, even though it's the successor of Tenkaichi 3, they did get inspiration from certain games, like FighterZ and Kakarot. Kakarot was good at showing the 3D environment and battles, and with FighterZ, you could push one attack button and have a really cool combo at the end. They said something like, this mechanic was adapted in Sparking Zero, where you can mash the square button and you have a very cool combo until punching him up or down. A lot of inspiration from the whole series of games. And he mentions the assist system to help players who never played the original games. So basically they said like all the Dragon Ball games were looked at and they tried the best parts from the games. Although I do wonder if they took any inspiration from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Let me know in the comment section below if you think they did, or if they just ignored that game completely. Anyway, local multiplayer. The player asked like what was the process behind local multiplayer, I think, and why they added it in, if it was due to fan feedback and whatnot. And they said like, you know, typical like yes, but there was a bunch of complex decisions, and at the end of the day they wanted to make it as accessible as possible, including the demand for local multiplayer. So honestly, if there was no demand for local multiplayer, then Sparking Zero wouldn't have had it. But they did say that their original focus was clearly on the single player and online multiplayer, but they added in local multiplayer at the end. And that's some good news for me, because if their focus is on the single player and online, then maybe they'll strike a balance in terms of content. Maybe there's going to be a lot more modes, or a lot more, or at least the modes will be so in depth that it will last you a long time for the single player. Many games, they tend to have a certain focus on certain things rather than the other. If they can strike a balance, and if it's like implemented, and if you can like notice it, then cool. The person also, the YouTuber also asked something regarding like wildest stuff regarding story what else, but this seemed to be a certain type of mistranslation. I actually feel that the question was regarding the story mode what ifs, and the Jun Furitani talked about the custom battle what ifs, saying stuff like we set up the scenery, entry before fight, we set up who fights whom, you can set up a player where the player 1 wins or when the other character wins. It's in the player's hand, and any custom battle you create, you can upload and download. And the person also asked, was it done to make the game last a long time? And he says that wasn't really the specific intention. It would be nice, but they also said that it was just to like let players experience the characters as much and as good as possible, give them the experience to play as the character they dream of. So even though you can't do something like Gogeta versus Vegito in the original story, you could in the custom battle. So I kind of wish we got more in-depth reveals and info regarding the custom battle instead of like just added characters in the demo. And of course, the final stuff. Will OG and Dragon Ball characters be in the actual game? And well, let's actually hear the snippet of it.
Final question, and one I would kick myself if I didn't ask, and I know you two are probably sick of hearing about it, but OG Dragon Ball and GT characters, is that a possibility for the future? I know I'm sure you can't announce now, but is it is it a talking point maybe?
We cannot comment at this time. Very sorry about this.
That's fine.
So please wait for further announcements.
I had to ask.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
So yeah, basically typical, like I can't comment under this time. Please wait for further announcements. Obviously, that's going to be very disappointing for people because again, you get kind of the same, like they don't want to answer these questions due to like they just can't reveal it, or maybe it's just not going to be in the game. And obviously saying that these characters are not going to be in the game is like bad press. So if they're not in the game, then obviously they'll be as DLC. Clearly it's just more of the same, but hey, at least they asked. The interviewer for this, the person who did the interview for this with Jun Furitani asked like some pretty decent questions overall. And of course, there are some other questions that they asked, but I just wanted to, put in my own thoughts, show it to you guys because not a lot of people viewed it. And yeah, overall, decent interview. If they were to reveal GT characters, it would probably have to be sometime in mid to late September. But whether we will have it or not, who knows? Anyway, let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, Ndukauba posted this game clip of Crash Impact. So let's view it. This one's mine. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you're new. Credits are in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.